However, there was one thing that my dad used to do then that I did not like him for. What was it? Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Abiola Kemi Ogunleye, and this is Let's Get Real with Abiola. This is where we keep it real, her lifestyle, faith, family, love, femininity, and trends. We try to keep it real as best as we can. Alright, if you're new to this channel, please kindly subscribe to my channel. And if you're not new to this channel and you're yet to subscribe, please, what did I do? Subscribe. Subscribe to my channel, subscribe, and please like this video. Give this video a thumbs up. Turn on the notification bell to get updates on new videos and share to your family, friends, and loved ones. On today's edition of Let's Get Real, we are going to be getting it real on parenting. Now, recently we've had a lot of cases about, we've had a lot of people talking about parenting. We've had children exhibiting some certain characteristics, and then you start to wonder how come? So a lot of people say it's as a result of bad parenting. A lot of people say maybe it may not be as a result of bad parenting, maybe because of maybe the child just decided to be wayward on his or her own, which is true. The people that say it can be as a result of bad parenting, they are right. The other people that say it can be because the children decide to be wayward on their own, they are also right. Everybody's standpoint is right. However, the insight I'm giving on parenting today is just going to be based on withholding certain privileges from children. Of course, there is no manual to parenting. I cannot say that this is the way to take. Every child has his or her own peculiarities. So I cannot say this is the way to train your child. This is another way to train your child. It's just like love, just the way I am with my partner, I cannot say that is how you should be with your own partner, because everybody has their own peculiarities. Everyone has their own personality differences. So every child has individual differences, just like every partner has individual differences. I cannot say the way that I am with my partner is the way that you should be with your own partner. Of course, I can give my thought on relationship. I can give my thought on marriage. However, there's need to apply discretion into everything that we discuss on this channel. Okay, no one is perfect after all. Okay, so there is no manual to parenting. Every children has their own individual differences. The way you would train your own child is different from the way another approach that another person would use to train their child. However, I'll share one thing that I realized helped me growing up. One thing that my dad used to do that I hated my dad for. I love my dad so much. As at that time, that when I was really young, if you ask me, who did I love the most, I will tell you I love my dad. Of course, I still love him now, definitely, but I just love both of them. I love both my dad and more the same way. However, there was one thing that my dad used to do then that I did not like him for. What was it? Would all be seated, we gathered around in the living room, would be seeing movies. I love watching movies then so much. And then we'll be seeing movies or me out in fact it is my best time of the day. Like when I would watch my dad, let's go home, let's go and watch movie. And then we would sit around, gather around in the living room to see movies, and then they will say Ewolelo. Ow. As in ow. So I'll be like, it was always annoying. You say, you guys, what that means is you guys should go inside. All of you get up and go inside. And so myself and my siblings would would grumble and grudgingly stand up and leave. And then at times we'd want to stand by the door and see if we can at least hear a little bit of what they are saying. But we will not be able to hear. So at the end of the day, we would give up. At times, if we hear his footsteps like this, we would rush to our bedroom because we know that he must not see us standing by the door trying to listen to the movie. But however, at the point that I became an adult, that I started to have an understanding of movies, I saw that there's something that these movies usually start with. It's PG-18. At the time when, so I remember that those movies that my dad used to tell us to enter inside for, they always have this PG-18. So then I realized, okay, parental guidance required. Like it should not, I mean, it starts from 18. If you're below 18, you cannot watch it. So I now had an understanding of why he used to send us inside at the time. Of course, I hated him then, but if it was not sending us, if whatever content that those movies entails, if we were exposed to it at the time, maybe a lot of things would have gone wrong. Okay, because personally I feel that we are not perfect. Okay, no parent is perfect, no child is perfect. Okay, everyone is just striving for perfection. However, the measures my dad took then, because I knew who I was as a child, I was I was quite, I love to try out things. I love to try out things. I love to experiment things. So if I had seen those things at the time, I'm sure I'll probably want to try them out, and maybe my lifestyle would not be my lifestyle right now. It might, or maybe I'd have gotten a lot of things wrong way before now, in which I'm grateful to God that I did not get wrong way before now. Anyways, so what am I driving at here? What I'm driving at here is that there are some certain measures that we need to put in place. Okay, of course, when we put it in place, our children may be showing exhibition. They may exhibit some characters to show that they did not like it, or they will show it. They will make it seem like they hate you as a parent. However, if it is for their best, you let them see reasons that it is for their best. It is not everything that your child says they want that you let them have, because if they have it, if they turn out if it turns out to have a bad effect on them, it will still boomerang on you as a parent, as a father, or as a mother. And so I feel personally that, okay, for instance, now the use of phone, there are some certain age that your children should not have phone, and even if they must have phone, it should be probably an internet enabled phone. Of course, please don't quote me wrong. I'm not saying I should not buy a phone for your child, though. I said some certain age. So it is now left to you. I'm so sorry for using that word, but however, it is left to you to decide which age exactly is right to use phone. Like I said, every children has their own peculiarities. Every children have their own individual differences. So I cannot say when they are 8 years old you can buy them phone, and I cannot say when they are 13 years old you buy them phone. However, there are some sensitive age that they have that they should not be given phone. Okay, and even if you must give them phone, it should not be internet enabled phone. There are a lot of things that a child can get exposed to using just by, even we as adults. I mean, those we as adults, there are a lot of things that we see on these our mobile phones that, I mean, when we see them, it takes the grace of God to not bend, to not. And so I feel personally that your children should not be given phone, and even if they must be given phone, it should not be internet enabled phone, like I said earlier. And whenever they have to, maybe they have an assignment from school, they have maybe something they have to do, use the internet for, make sure that if you must give them your own phone to use, or you must give them the maybe the your laptop, whatever, to surf the net, because of course they need to be smart. So if you must give it to them, it was such that you are with them, or you can be sure that they are not, they are not on sites that they should not be exposed to. Because a lot of pop-ups happen. Of course, you can take some measures with your internet, but it must be such that you set up some certain like some certain restriction that guides them to not go out of the context of what they are trying to do on your laptop or on your phone. It should be such that your children are not exposed to some certain things. I mean, you see a lot of some children, by reason of the phone they use, they've been exposed to alcohol, they've been exposed to drugs, they've been exposed to addictions, some addictions that even you as a parent must not get to know of. They've been exposed to doing a lot of illicit acts, a lot of illicit behaviors. They've been exposed to pornography, different things. And so if it is such that they have, because even if you say, because if you get a child that should not have phone, if you set up a preventive measures on the phone for them, what if they go to school with the phone? and somebody looks for, they are talking to their friend, and then one way or the other, that one says, oh, you don't have this on your phone, and then that way they are able to override the preventive measure that you have set on their phone. What I would say is that you should just ensure that you do things accordingly. Okay, when it is time for them to use phone, get them phone. If it is such that you start with a phone that is not internet enabled, you get it for them. And if your child, if you see that this child is smart enough to know the right from wrong, smart enough to not easily get influenced by his or her friends, then yes, you can get an internet enabled phone and tell them strictly that they should ensure that they are not influenced by what they are seeing online, and that they are doing the things that it is expected of them to do. And you may not be able to check and balance everything as a parent because you're not perfect. However, there are some certain measures that you should put in place, especially as a result of ensuring that whatever it is that they watch, even cartoons, even movies they see, is like my dad used to do. The movies they see, the cartoons, because cartoons, it's surprisingly, the cartoons they are releasing now has a lot of illicit content. And so you have to even be sure of which cartoon you let your child watch. So all of these things, if it is put in place, I feel that if a child now decides to do bad, you know that you've done your own best that you can do. Okay, so even if God is telling you that, what have you done? You can be able to say, yes, I mean, I tried my best. However, and as you grow your child, as you train your child in the way they should go, it is important that you always pray for them too. Because a lot of child, they grow up having a right mentality, and then they get to a particular settings or a particular stage in their life, and they start to mix with some certain set of people, and then they influence them. If it is a child that is not convinced, that does not have a conviction within them to stand against wrong, they would easily get influenced. However, I believe the kind of children that we should have out there are the children that influence people. I mean, they are an influence to other children to do the right things. I believe our children should be such that they can be the right influence. They are not the type that get influenced to do right, to do wrong. I mean, but they are able to influence other children to do right, other children to walk in the path of light. I mean, there's nothing that makes you impressed that, oh my God, I've done my best. This child that God entrusts to my care, I did my best. Because the child, I mean, when you see the child, it gives you a certain kind of joy. Because when your child has start to tell you, oh, I mean, a girl in my class gave her life sacrifice. Oh, a girl in my class or a boy in my class stopped smoking or stopped doing this because by the reason of me speaking to him or her. No, or oh, this child, this friend of mine became the second, got the second position in class, because we studied together. I mean, won't you be impressed as a parent? You will be impressed. Okay, so I feel that this common notion of you spare the rod, you spoil the child. I mean, don't spare the rod and spoil the child. You should, I mean, and this is not to say you have to always beat your child. Always, no, you don't have to always beat your child. I've had a person does not even think that the best approach for you to do for your child is to beat them at all times. But know what works for your child and be attentive as a parent. Don't always be absent. Yes, you want to make money. Yes, you want to give them a good life. However, be attentive. Make it such that you are easily approachable. They can approach you about some certain areas. You are not rigid. Some parents, they are too strict. They cannot even approach you and tell you things about maybe something that a teacher did to them, or what their fellow classmates did to them, because you are too rigid. Stop being rigid. Be flexible. They are your children. You give birth to them, or you are, even if you are a guardian, even if you didn't give birth to them, however way, whatever child that is entrusted to your care, it is up to you to give them the best of life and show them the right way to live. And for them to, and there are a lot of things that you do that these children they see for, and it is not everything that your child asks for that you say yes, yes, yes to. Okay, so pay attention to them. Know when it is best for you to give them some certain leverage, and know when it is best for you to withhold some certain leverage to them, and help them to build their independence, help them to build their conviction. Okay, we have come to the end of Let's Get Real today. We've come to the end of Let's Get Real with Abiola. Do not forget to subscribe. Do not forget to turn on your notification bell. And do not forget to share to your family, friends, and loved ones. And if you would love for me to do a particular topic, you can send it to the comment section, or you have if you want to do that privately, you can. My email will be on the description box. You can access my email and send it to me, whatever it is you would like to discuss with me. Till I come your way next time, stay enlightened. Bye bye.